the pit of despair. Don't even think... Don't even think about trying to escape.
Welcome back for Season 3 of Iron Curtain Grades. You know, it's been quite a while since we did one, but A20's out. It's a big deal. We're here. We want to do things. And in the course of doing things, we have discovered something a little ridiculous. No lie, we actually weren't going to put a video out until at least another week from now. We had a plan. We had a schedule. But when we started building this base, and anybody who's familiar with this channel knows what base this is, we figured something out that kind of breaks the game. I'm not going to say it's wedge tips, but it's pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and put links to both of our previous pit videos in the description. So if you're not familiar with how this is built, you can go through and see the long version there. Today, we just want to talk about what we changed and figure out if it's going to work for A20.
First thing that changes, I'm actually here for this one.
Hooray!
Yay,
Davian's
Davian.
computer works for the pit build. But that said, we are short a duel because we changed the schedule and he wasn't able to make it here this weekend. Boo. The idea is that it's a big hole in the ground. The Zeds track down the ramps here. They fall into the hole that goes all the way down to bedrock where we can just kill them at our leisure. So at the start of A19, it worked pretty well. Zeds would track down the hole, they'd fall, they'd die. By the end of A19 though, we were getting a lot of reports and had seen some for ourselves where the AI had been improved a little bit. And rather than chasing down the hole, they would get out to this outer ring here, this outer lip, and start digging. That's bad. You don't want that. So the trick is to bait them into the ramps and get them to actually drop. But how do you actually do that? Wedge tips don't work anymore. There's no way to make them fall. What I discovered in the process of evaluating and kind of testing and seeing if there was any way to save this idea for A20 is the O-rings. This breaks A20. It really does. We run a test night on this base already. They drop down faster now than they did in the past. What happens is they view these as blocks they can walk on when we're standing down below. Eventually, they're clumsy enough that they just fall through there. And what they get is the same web of electric fencing you saw in the past, especially in the A19 video, and the same us standing at a platform, shooting at them down in the hole with a wall of spikes if they try to hit our walls. This is a very simple design. The biggest caveat is making sure that your platform is at least 6 blocks off of the floor. This way your platform is safe from demolition blasts. After that, you can essentially do whatever you want. The fall won't kill them, but you can sit up here on the platform in perfect safety and kill them however you want. Bombs, grenades, dart traps, blade traps, go nuts. We're going to abbreviate the grading on this one just because we've already covered the pit base, and this is really just a verification of whether or not it still works. For supplies needed, we gave it an A, and for build difficulty, we gave it a C. Supplies needed, I'm going to stick with the A, because even though this is a lot of concrete, digging this hole gave us all the concrete we needed in order to finish off the interior of this room. That's not a problem. Build difficulty is definitely a C, maybe even a C-. This takes a while, especially if you're doing it by hand. This is a commitment. The payoff is there because it's an amazingly secure facility. You're going to have to set aside some time to actually put this together. Let's get everybody gathered up. We'll get prepped up and we'll run the test so you guys can see this thing in action. All right, we are rolling up on the Horde Night. You know, A20 in general, while we're waiting, I have been pleasantly surprised by a lot of the changes. I like a lot of the new construction blocks. These O-rings in particular are obviously something I'm going to be a fan of. And the new weapons, the pipe weapons, the lever action. I'm using the lever action, so that should tell you what I think of that. As you can see, just like A19, the floor is color-coded. You kind of want to stick to the green zones so that you're baiting them out and down the hole. But let's see if we can see. I mean, yeah, take the pot shots. Here she comes, 88 miles an hour. I wonder if we'll get the warp through the floor we saw in 19, or if they fixed that.
Oh, they aren't falling as fast.
Their general, whoa, that guy just ripped past me. I don't know about that. I was be like, yeah, that's actually maybe true. No, and then that guy just blew through at Mach 5. Ow. I did hear you though last time. The purple section up top here represents all of the concrete plates that are now protecting the electric fence. You can see that's already taken some cop spit hits, so that was a good idea. Thanks, comment section.
If you look up the top of the pit, it just looks like they're kind of shoving each other off the edge.
Yeah, they're really clumsy about it, and when you don't have the O-rings up there, they avoid this lip. They don't come down this far. They see the danger there, they sense the danger, and they sit up at the top edge of the ramp and start digging. This actually, if nothing else, it encourages them to come hang out at the edge. I would argue this is a substantially faster drop rate than what we saw in A19.
Oh, for sure.
And we have also put up a turret here to demonstrate that the turret still does not work.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The junk turret just doesn't do a great job aiming that far down. We did our first test of this concept, actually, when this was about half finished. It was mostly just the shaft itself had been dug out. And we were quite busy. I mean, they were basically just raining all around us, and it kept us on our toes for the evening, that's for sure. This is, I mean, I really like how fast they come down now. This is an improvement in terms of activity levels from the A18, A19 version.
Now, one thing to note, and we found this out in testing, if you're too close to the top, they will just start trying to dig down.
For reference, we are playing on the same settings that we used for Season 2, Warrior, 64 Zeds. Dog! Yeah, and like previous versions, I really still think you could build this base out of pretty much anything. There's no reason this shaft couldn't be lined with cobblestone. Down here could be cobblestone, wood, whatever. It doesn't take much damage. Wood might get a little hairy with the cop spit, but if you had, you know, repair capacity or spare blocks, then yeah, I think you'd be fine. Is it a day 7 base? No. But it'll set you up for the long term.
It's a good investment.
Mm-hmm. Get what you pay for. This is actually, I think, going to be a significant improvement in volume of experience versus the A19 version of this as well, because you're getting so many more opportunities. As I have done in previous versions, if you want to get, you know, a little hairy with it, you can also just come on out the outer edge here. Be careful with this, but it does give you a nice shot. Yes, you cannot go that far out. They will... The further out you go, they're going to drop into your lap, so don't do what he did there.
Or do if you want it to be interesting.
For demonstration purposes.
Let's take the electric hit here. Yep. And go see what our friends are up to. No, not digging. They're hanging around the steel lip here, and they're pissed off. And that's about it. So, proof is in the pudding. Not only are they not digging, they're falling like crazy. And they're probably going to fall a little faster here for a second, now that I've come up here.
Yeah, I'm finding that launching a rocket launcher with a Crippler mod up there is especially effective at getting an entire horde to fall down.
You know, the other two are down in the pit of Kiva, shall we?
I guess. If you're going to make me.
Now it's going to get exciting.
Oh yeah, now it's going to turn into a shit show.
Now they're just like, oh, there they are.
Yep. As soon as you're in the square, that, oh, ow, ow, ow.
We may not be able to stay down here, but...
And now we can see that the robot turret does not like being on bedrock because it's not targeting anyone.
Historically, it has been extremely safe to be down in the pit there during this night, but this is actually putting them down quick enough that it got a little hairy. Fatty Boom Boom!
Yeah, this is an uncomfortable place to be right now.
I'm over here purposefully shooting him in the chest. I think he might pop. Is that... I saw red blinking.
No, he's dead.
I mean, if he does pop, it's a danger to you two down there, but it's not a danger to anything else.
Oh no!
No damage up here. These were already pinged up by cop spit. There's nothing. So, we're good. Gross. This guy hit me and exploded.
Yes.
Hey, there's the evening. Let's do a little cleanup work here. Finish off what's left. Let's take out the hammer and see what sort of damage we're looking at. I like that all the numbers I'm seeing right now start... Oh, okay, we got one at 8,800.
Oh, here's one block gone.
Everything else is hovering around 9,000 mark. The O-rings themselves are all in pretty great shape.
Oh, I wonder where that one block is.
I'm thinking that they were probably clustered over here and this is cop spit. That entire evening, one block got demolished, and that block doesn't particularly matter. Everything else is 8,800 or higher. This durability, obvious, once again, A. Z control and player danger as in A19. Both A's. No complaints there. Resources used is another A. We used about 50 gas per generator for the evening. There's no issues on that. Ammunition. I used 1,341 rounds. X.
795.
Nev.
2,622.
Davian.
1314.
That gives us a grand total of 6,072 rounds, the vast majority of which, especially in Nev's case, was optional.
Yep.
Really don't have to do what we did there. I think on ammo it gets an A because the ammo you spend here is what you want to spend. Cheese. This is going to be, I think, the ongoing debate of Season 3. How cheesy are these O-rings? They are not wedge tip levels of cheese. I'll say that right out the gates. However, I don't think they are cheese-free. I think this classifies as something that works very well, but is a little outside of what the developers probably intended these rings to be used for. For cheese, I think what we're looking at with these O-rings is a case of craft singles. It's like cheese, it wants to be cheese, but it's not quite there. And my guess is that's going to be the case as long as this mechanic is intact. Chance to patch.
That's the big question.
I think that once this gains a certain level of notoriety, we can expect a wedge tips patch on these O-rings. But as was the case with the wedge tips, whether or not that even happens before the end of A21 is anyone's guess. This actually improved the pit, which is the exact opposite of what I thought we were going to get. I really had plans to come in and do the inaugural pit video and kick it off with the Godfather, look how they massacred my boy. Like, I didn't think this was going to work anymore. And it's better than ever, and it's thanks to these O-rings. Final grade, A. This thing works amazing. It has improved. I have no complaints. It's as good as it ever has been. Like Davian said, it's an investment, but it's an investment that will pay off. It's an investment that yields dividends for you throughout, and you'll never find a safer design than this. This is as good as it gets. A20 has been beaten. Pack it up, go home. Stick around for the rest of Season 3. We have a palette full of options that we are going to test out, including some from our favorites. And if you've been around, you know who our favorites are. Also want to give a shout out to the folks in our Discord who have been throwing some amazing ideas at us. And if you're not in our Discord, I'll put the link in the description. Come check us out. You know, as a group, we run a lot more than just 7 days. So if you're looking for some people to run with, hit us up. You might like what you find. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Okay, we ready? Can I start?
Yep.
Why?
Eat you people.
Are we there yet?
All right.
I said we were going to start.
Oh my
recording
fucking
time.
god!